Hello everyone, welcome back to the Landedkiller show. This video is going to be pretty short, cut and simple. Pretty much just talking about the anniversary event and my thoughts on it. I honestly think that we really got nerfed rewards this year with this event. It used to be you get a super container for every super ship and tier 10 you owned or tier 10 that you owned pretty much. Double check how much you get for the tier 10s. Let's see what we got here. Let's see how many tokens do you get. Okay, so it's still equivalent to prior years, at least for the super container aspect of this event. But I do worry for what's going to happen for Christmas event. I think they're going to do the same thing. So this has clearly changed since the last time I saw it, because before it was a lot more harsh for anniversary event. That being said, I can give you some good recommendations on what to actually get here. If you're trying to save money, go for this first, because this will give you 50% off of these ships here. Out of these ships here, the ones that I still think are relevant are going to be the Kid, Hampshire, and Z35. Out of these guys, those are just the easiest ones I find to work with. Kid if you like destroyers, Hampshire if you like cruisers, and Z35 if you like destroyers. I kind of have mixed feelings about recommending Gasconnet because it's not the same ship it used to be. It's really been nerfed into the ground as far as its secondaries go. Vanguard is in a worse state. It's just not really competitive these days. But if you were to get between the two, which one you'd get, I would get Gasconnet. As for carriers, it looks like we only have one in here, the Saipan, which I think is still so-so. I don't think there's any other carriers here. Nope. Honestly, oh yeah, and for destroyers, Lit Terrible is actually better than Z35, so scratch that. Get Lit Terrible instead of Z35 if you can. This will only knock it off by 50%. Keep in mind your time limit too. You can see I've already gotten a little camouflage for Zaitin, with the little parallel worlds patch, get this little random bundle thingy here. Try it at your own peril, I guess. I'm not really a big fan of random models, but since it's so cheap, you might as well go for it. Get these signals that you can too while they're this cheap, because normally it takes you forever to get a good bunch of signals. Definitely focus your efforts on getting these blue signals here if you can. It's hard to come by them, to be honest. Yeah, I would get like a certain amount of super containers, like let's say get like 20 maybe super containers if you have enough shifts, and then shift your focus to these. This is okay, but you're only limited to this 7 times. Which is hilarious because it says guaranteed drop 10. The 10th container doesn't open on the 9th. And it says available for purchase 7. So I assume there's going to be another way to get these besides tokens eventually. At some point in the future. But for now, it looks like you're limited to 7. Do I think Bayard is still competitive? Yes. Pretty competitive, but it is very fragile. You'll have to really maneuver with it well. I can't really form an opinion on a ship I haven't played, so this one's still up in the air for me. I don't know enough about it to really give a solid recommendation on whether to get it or not. I don't have it in front of me, and I'm not rich like some people are. I used to have money coming in where I could just buy this outright, but now I'm poor. I'd rather use what remaining resources I have towards developing new music for the channels, to be honest. That's what I've been doing. At a slower pace, granted, but this reload time looks pretty nice. 305 at tier 9. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. That's already going to make it struggle a little bit. Your main targets are probably going to be cruisers with this. Secondaries look to be okay. Decent range, torpedoes. 4x4. I think it just really depends on the arcs. The speed's good and the range is good, but really what matters is the arcs. It seems like they launch from the back, so the arcs probably go somewhere We go up here. Too bad they don't show the arcs. I really wish would change that. You get to see where the arcs were with these. Speed is good. Ouch on the rudder, shift, enter, and circle radius good. Concealment looks to be good. I think it's probably gonna be hit hardest when it comes to its accuracy. So I'm guessing the drawback is in the accuracy. Oh, in the range department, it looks like 19.1 range. Where is the Citadel on this thing? Citadel looks to be in the water, so that looks to be good for the moment. Wait a minute, is there a little bit above the water? Nope, it's under the water. I just think this thing's going to struggle, at least when it comes to range. This looks like to be like a mid-range ship at best. Mid-range to close range. It's hard to state that. What does it get for consumables? Does it say hydroacoustic and repair? Oh, so you can't even increase the range. Oh. Oh, little main battery short. Smallish people. It's been a long day streaming and doing YouTube shorts. I'm gonna take out Zeiton once if I can get this to work properly. Yep, things working good. Honestly, I think that my biggest annoyance with this event is just the fact that players had to once again have to say, oh, wargaming, this is terrible. And then, to add insult to injury, the forums are gone. And they knew what they were doing with this anniversary event. They knew that people would have been up in arms on the forums, but now they pretty much kind of silenced a lot of that resistance with their move to Discord, and they can control the conversation there. There are some new forums popping up, but the only time will tell if they can replace the original forum that I do miss. It took me a good 2 weeks to get out of the habit of just going to that webpage and seeing the new post, to be honest. I've been so used to going on those forums for the last 8 years, to be honest. Just seeing them gone is an annoyance. I have to use Discord for everything now, I guess. Search some stuff up again through Google, but to see what's going on, I have to go peer into Discord, peer into the Reddit. Even then, the only one that's more accurate to how the community really feels would probably be Reddit, because Discord is going to be censored out if it's truly a negative opinion, if we're being honest. Then again, I don't spend a lot of time on the Discord. The only time I go on there is really to check the dev blog to see if a new one's been posted or not. I don't really know how things are going to play out with the game this coming year, with how things have been going. It seems like some of the criticism around subs has died down a little bit, but we're still having issues occasionally where submarines can still shotgun. So I don't know. Whenever vocal majority was out there against submarines seems to have quieted down or has left the game. I am not really for subs myself. I'm really still mad that they got in the game. But can't do anything about it now. Same with super ships. Surprisingly, super ships don't bug me as much as submarines have. And I said, I was probably one of the first people that came out and said, hey, this is probably not going to be the best thing for the game. But that's in the past now. What matters is just moving forward and just trying to have fun with what we have now. Airship escort being introduced into randoms is going to be a mixed bag once I actually have more time to actually get in here and test it out more. I'm not really getting much damage in here this game, am I? Yeah, this ship has to get up closer to really do some damage, otherwise it just really struggles. Accuracy is just really not the best on this ship. Dates on the site, I assume, are for the North American server launch. That's what I'm guessing it is, really. Because we had closed beta for the longest time back in the earlier part of that year and before. The vibes were just so much different back in the closed beta days. People were just more enthusiastic. They were like, yay, we're finally getting this game off the ground, and it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of excitement for Alaska. Even early on, people wanted Alaska, such as myself and many others. Not to annoy the game developers, but just because they wanted to have a mini battle cruiser, mini battleship, a pocket battleship, I guess you could call it. Granted, is it better than the Deutschland class? Oh yeah, by far. The difference being is that the Deutschland class actually got to see just a little bit more action than the Alaska class. Hate to break people's bubble, but Azuma never got built and neither did Yoshino. And that's just history. In fact, the Japanese were actually going to be some of the first ones to have hybrid cruisers, but that never got off the ground just due to how close the war was to ending. A Buki class was going to be the basis for that. But some part of me tells me that we're probably going to see hybrid submarines before we see hybrid carriers from the Japanese next. I really don't have any ideas as to what wargaming is up to for the next year. It's really been silence. There hasn't really been any announcements as far as I'm aware. But maybe they've done an anniversary stream where they've talked more about the future. I'm unaware at this time of such a stream. If it has occurred, then I'm out of the loop on it. I've just been really working my tailpipe off, doing a lot of hours of working, trying to pay bills and get ahead on them. But it seems that even when you get the littlest bit ahead, that you have some interest and drag you back down again. To be honest. I just don't know what the hell is going to be going on with this game. This is the first time I really don't know what direction the devs are going. We have some clues as to what they're thinking with the burn being in the game. The fact that we haven't seen a French carrier line yet. I put a lot of money on at least seeing a French carrier line. It's about all I'm certain of for next year. Whereas for anything else, I'm not really so certain. Just because things are kind of in a bit of a flux right now when it comes to wargaming. Trying to purchase a new office and all that. Whenever they do that anniversary stream, which I'm sure they're going to do... What date is it today? They're probably going to do a stream on September 17th is my guess. Hence the date on this ship here. And on that stream, we'll probably reveal more about the future of the game. But at the time of recording on the 14th of September, I'm obviously not going to know that. So. Hello, your eyes do not deceive you. This is in the future by about a few days. Because I believe I recorded that original video at around September 14th. So I'm just going to add on to it here, add in some things. I got the Carl XIV Johan here, and I'm just opening up some super containers real quick. I know I haven't done like a mega super container opening this year, but it's only just due to lack of time more than anything, and I'm sorry if I let you all down last week by not having an in-person video out. Just been really busy in a sense, really just dealing with a lot of stuff in the workplace again. This gets nuts sometimes. We're gearing up for the holiday season here pretty soon. And it's gonna be nuts, no doubt. I already got Halloween coming here soon enough, and that's already up there in terms of stress sometimes, you know? But I think my biggest thing is just with this update is just the fact that the developers took away a lot of the rewards that we used to have in these anniversary events. Like they used to go all out and actually have themed camos that would actually have like unique decals and everything. there'd be a lot more bonuses. You'd actually get a super container per each tier 10. But I think you can get close to that, but not quite exactly with the new system that they have here. I've opened a few super containers, and all I've been getting is basically a lot of boosters and signals and some doubloons. So, yeah. My progress on Lucian Docker has been relatively slow for the last couple of weeks here. I wish I could have done a little bit more with that, but time permitting, I'm going to try to do some form of a live stream here within the next 2 days, and hopefully things go according to plan, but if they don't, they don't. That's why I'm recording a little bit extra on this video, just in case it takes me some time to be on the air again. Who knows? Life just throws a lot of curveballs at you sometimes. It really does. No, I don't really know how to play the ship yet because this is actually my first time taking it into battle, but I'm going to try my best. I use that mounting equipment option, the recommended one, just because it seemed like a decent shortcut. But sometimes shortcuts aren't always as they appear. They're not always the greatest thing, you know. Now, in the first part of this video, I talked mainly about this update and how I thought it was compared to other years, and now I'm just going to kind of focus more on the gameplay aspect of the current game right now in this patch. What I've been noticing is when I go into a battle and I try to be any form of aggressive and try to actually go after a cap, I'm torpedoed into oblivion. And I think it is ridiculous that this problem has not been solved yet. There needs to be a counter for submarines shotgunning. It is long, long overdue. And it needs to be something that's put into the game just to improve the quality of the matches, because a lot of my clan mates have left this game because of the bad decisions made by this developer. No pun intended. I've lost a lot of players that were active in my clan. I'm not sure if it's the same for other clan leads, if they're having the same issue, but I lost a lot of good active players due to Wargaming's ridiculous changes to submarines and super ships earlier this year. I think in order to keep players around, Wargaming should consider nerfing submarines in some way so that they're actually detected when they fire off the homing torps. I know that they are to some degree, but I believe we should have some sort of counter that actually will work besides depth charges. I feel like depth charges need to go a little bit further to where you can actually aim them somewhat at the ship and actually target them on certain ships that can have that. That's what I honestly wish they would let us do. I'm not sure why Wargaming decided to do the things they did with subs. I'm guessing that they were running out of content with normal ships, running out of blueprints, and that's why they were kind of put in a position where they had to add submarines into the game. But my biggest thing that I'm really just noticing is just if you try to play in any form aggressively, you are going to get torqued by carriers, by submarines, and by destroyers. And it is not fun at all to be dealing with that, because you ideally want to focus on the objective in a match, which is to take the cap circle or to sink the enemy ships, and you can't do that if you are just torped. So in essence, a lot of the gameplay now is all focused at long range, and I think that is really a disappointment for those of us that like to run secondary builds, being forced into really co-op if we want to enjoy the game how we did back in 2018 or 2016, for that matter. It's hard just seeing how Wargaming continues to neglect what players actually want in this game. The players actually want to just have decent common sense gameplay that actually makes sense. Which is, you know, actual counters that work against submarines. I'm sorry, but depth charges in the current form are terrible. You have to be right on top of the submarine in order to make them work. Airstrikes work fine and are effective, but depth charges on specifically Prince Eugen or Mainz, really unacceptable wargaming. You need to do better. You need to be able to aim them or something. Should you be able to aim them in the current range they have now? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they need another kilometer or two of range. It's hard to say. I'm not in the development department, and I shouldn't have to act like a developer. Wargaming should be competent enough to do focus testing on their actual ships outside of public test. They should take some time and look at the statistics from this last year of having submarines in the game and evaluate what changes need to be made in order to rebalance submarines so that they're actually a fun part of the gameplay experience and not a negative part of the gameplay experience. And I have played submarine to a limited degree. It is fun when you play it, but when you are dealing with it against it, it's not so fun. Now, the development has come a long way since they first started them, but they still have a ways to go, is what I'm saying. And it needs to start with allowing depth charges to be aimed and not just launched when you're over a submarine. I think that's an easy change that they could make in the game. That maybe would take them 2 to 3 months to implement at most. But I think that it's going to be exciting to have these support carriers in the game. It's going to be nice to see Essex return to the game finally. It's been gone so long, along with the other support carriers. I think Hyrule was one of the ones I used to play a lot of, if I remember correctly. I think there's another one, Yoshi, Kako, Yushi, something or whatever. Taiheo is coming back. There's a few good ones in there. But the whole concept is just to be able to have deployable smoke screens and that sort of alike. I don't get why we can't use a similar concept to drop depth charges, honestly. Some kind of a plane drop where you can control it. Oh wait, we already have that. Why not make another version of it? With shorter range and higher damage intensity. We could easily do that, wargaming. Or just allow us to make depth charges aimable for the ships that don't have the plane mounted ones. That would be a big help indeed. Just saying. I don't know, that's just kind of what I've been noticing, and I don't know if I'll get to live streaming this week, but I figured, I would at least add on something to this so it didn't feel so short. Because the original video and the original section is only a minute long to begin with. And that's just not a Landedkiller video to me. It needs to be a little bit longer than 10 minutes. That would be more acceptable for killer film reviews because that's reviewing films. We're not reviewing a film today, we're talking about World Warships. And the funny thing is that all the film reviews I do are actually recorded on World of Warships, uploaded in black and white, and just put on that channel, Killer Film Reviews. I plug it a lot because it's one of my favorite channels of the ones I have. Kind of like my first or second born kid, I guess, in a sense. I really like the concept of it, and I'm really going to keep trying to work on it more so that it makes sense and so that it actually grows as a channel. But in the meantime, I'll just kind of show you where I'm at with Lucian Dockyard, and then we'll kind of end it from here. You can see I've made it to phase 25. I still have another 10 phases to go because I don't have an army of patrons that can just magically buy me the ship, because that's how some of the big guys do it. Or either that or Wargaming gives them X amount of doubloons per month. I'm still working on this. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, I just wanted to say thank you again for your support. It means a lot. and I look forward to when I can next live stream and put out a video for you all. Have a great day and happy end of September, I guess. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, and peace.